Hi, my name is Stephen James Crawford, and I am a Morehead-Cain Scholar from the class of 2010.
My name is Terrence Wilson. I'm a Morehead-Cain Scholar from the class of 2010.
This summer I'm going to be traveling with Terrence Wilson, another scholar, to the Dominican Republic and to Trinidad. And we're going to study the effects of music and dance on the cultures of Trinidad and the Dominican Republic.
I'm going to try to learn different musical styles. I'm a musician, so I'm going to try to take my guitar out there in the Dominican. I'm going to try to, get out there, play with the musicians. Steven's going to try to dance with the dancers. We're just going to really try to live the life for the time that we're down there.
One day I taped myself and put it on YouTube, and I saw like the fascination that other people could have with dance, and it increased my interest in dance. So this summer is kind of an opportunity to further my interest in music and dance abroad and in other cultures. I think that music and dance here is very similar to the music and dance that I'm going to find in the Dominican Republic and in Trinidad. Cultures abroad express themselves may be different, but I think that ultimately we're all trying to express something. So there's going to be a similarity in the way that we express ourselves.
Playing a musical instrument is something that can be really powerful, especially if you're struggling, if you're in a place where you're downtrodden or disenfranchised. Playing an instrument can be one of the means where you can be free, where you can express yourself freely in any situation. And so I feel like when I go to these different places and talk to these musicians, it's going to be kind of a similar thing where they picked up the instrument because they had something on their mind or something on their hearts that they wanted to express, and the best way to do that was through music.
And it's a challenge to exist in a new area and coexist with people that live in a different way that you were brought up to live in. But at the same time, I think that it's a means for growth. So I'm looking forward actually to embracing these challenges as far as putting myself out there.
When we first arrived in Trinidad and Tobago, we met up with our host, who was a lady named Auntie Jenny, who was a family friend of one of my sister's friends. And so we stayed with her, and she cooked us breakfast. She has been living in Trinidad her entire life.
The traditional dish would have been saltfish, what I gave you last day, with tomatoes
and she cooked us breakfast. She made sure we got acclimated to the city. And for the first couple of days, she connected us to the different things that were going on as we were trying to figure out, where and how to find information about music.
More so, I was able to see how the people in the communities, specifically in Trinidad, how they live, because she was right in the middle of it all, and so I think that was really important to be able to see how the people there live. Ultimately, it helped me to connect the culture in the various communities that I was in to what I was doing, what I was studying, which was dance. Nice breeze and everything. I think that the best way for me to learn about dance, though, was through the lessons that I took in the Dominican Republic. I was able to take salsa lessons, and honestly, I'd never taken any kind of structured dance lesson before, and having to do it for the first time was pretty difficult. Looking in the mirror and having to imitate the instructor, and having to do it not only for the first time, but in Spanish, in a language that I'm not accustomed to. So it was really interesting. Who gets to get instructed by Dominican dance experts? That was one of my favorite parts of the trip, and I feel like I was able to learn a lot about the culture and community.
The Labor Day holiday is a little bit different from our Labor Day holiday. They were celebrating their labor riots for labor rights that had happened, years prior. And so this was a very monumental day for Trinidadian people, and music was a prominent part of all the celebrations. And everybody was celebrating and dancing and being in the street, and you could see that music was really connecting them in celebration of this great event for them. Also, while I was in the southern part of Trinidad in Fazabad, I had the opportunity to meet with some local musicians that I met through one of our contacts, and that was a really powerful experience for me. It was a wide range of musicians. From the youngest was a singer who was about 18, the oldest was an older steel pan player who was about in his 50s or 60s, and you could really see how music could cross all of these age gaps and really do something very powerful for all of them. It was actually pretty easy to find musicians because it's such a daily part of life. Everywhere you go, you heard music. You heard people. You walk around, downtown, and you just hear music everywhere. You go to the pan yard, which are open for the public, and they're open 24 hours a day. You can just pick up sticks and begin to play the steel pan drum.
I think that the summer enrichment program is important because, unlike other scholarships, it has that key component of growth and personal development. Instead of simply investing in our education, they've kind of invested in who we are as people and decided to expose us to a wide variety of things that we may never have been exposed to.
Through the summer enrichment program, you get to get a much more in-depth knowledge of how people live, the complexities that are inherent in all societies. And I think that it's been different from any other class that I've taken because the experiences are more real. I can think back to a conversation. I can think back to a face or a person that I've met that had a real story to tell. And that's something that you can't do through a book or looking at a picture. It's something that you can only gain from going and immersing yourself in that different situation, in that different culture. I think that the summer enrichment program gives you ways to give back that you wouldn't be able to find in any other means. And I think the Morehead-Cain summer enrichment experiences give you that rich base of experience in a lot of different situations that you can really give. You can really be knowledgeable about how these issues affect people, all over the world, and how you can bring it back to people in our own community.
Morehead-Cain scholars are able to actually become wise and not just, smart students.